everybody. I'm here with my resolutions, reading or book resolutions for 2015. And overall, this year, I just want to focus on reading great books and not get so caught up in the quantities. So, I guess quality over quantity would be the theme for the year. And I think in the past I've been wanting to always read 100 books, and I do it, and then I see how much I can push myself. And sometimes I start looking for shorter books, or I read books that I don't really want to read. I mean, they're interesting, but I'll just throw in a graphic novel here or there. Or if I see something that's interesting and it's short, I'm like, oh, I can read that, and I'll get an extra book in this month. And then I don't really end up reading books that I absolutely love. And so I noticed in doing my review of the whole year of 2014, I didn't read that many really great novels either. So as far as reading great books, I want to focus on novels, and I also, as sort of a subset of that, want to focus on science fiction because I absolutely love science fiction. And when I look back at my books, I realize I don't read that much. And when I do read science fiction, I love it, and I ask myself, why don't I read this more? I should read this more, and then I don't. And so I really want to put my attention on reading more science fiction books and just exploring that genre a little bit more, reading some of the classics in that genre, and just finding authors that I love and stories that I love, and figuring out who I am as a science fiction reader, and just enjoying books overall. So those are my main goals, and in order to achieve them, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I have gone through and listed out a bunch of books that I do want to read. So I used to never plan my reading. I would never plan my monthly TBR. I would see people do that, and I thought, well, that's so restricting. I could never do that. But I think I am going to plan and structure my reading a little bit more just so I have an idea of where I want to go. And of course, always allow some flexibility and room for change within that. For example, if a new book comes out that I want to read, or if I just, am drawn in a certain direction, to still be allowed to read what I want and just, read by whim, I guess. I'm also considering maybe not setting a Goodreads goal. I thought about maybe setting it at 75 instead of 100. That would mean about 6 books a month, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do there. And I saw one other booktuber. Her channel is called Climb the Stacks. Her name is Ashley, and she was talking about reading less and being okay with that. And that really resonated with me because I do not necessarily want to try to read less, but to really focus my reading. And if I do end up reading less, then really being fine with that because I'll have had a great quality reading year, which is so many wonderful books, so many amazing reading experiences, and to get to a lot of books that I've always been wanting to read, but I just put off or don't read for some reason. Another thing that Ashley on Climb the Stacks mentioned was maybe having a set number of books each month, and after you read them, then focusing on other things. And I thought that was a great idea, and maybe I'll stick with my 6, and once I read them, if I really want to, I can go above and beyond. If not, I can be fine with that. There are another sort of theme that I think for the year is going to be read less, live more. She mentioned wanting to accomplish a lot of things, and there are other things that are important to me. And as I looked at, what do I want to do this year, what's really important, I realized, well, maybe reading will take a slight backseat to that. It'll still be very important to me. I'll still do it, but it won't necessarily be the huge focus. I won't do it before I do other things. There are things like, I want to do more artistic type things. I've started drawing again. I haven't done that in years and years and years, and sometimes I'll find myself just reading a book and I'll stop myself and be like, why are you reading? You could be drawing. You read plenty of the time. You read so many books. Maybe put some time towards something else. So maybe read a few books each month, and also alternate on doing other things, other activities, and other life events or other goals that I want to work toward. Lastly, I also want to attend Booktopia. One of my favorite podcasts related to books and reading is Books on the Nightstand, and they host sort of a book retreat several times a year. And unfortunately, it was announced that 2015 is going to be the last year they'll be doing that, and they're having 2 retreats. And I've always put it off thinking oh, they're going to have it every year for, the next 10, 20 years. I don't know. I'll get to it. And that's another thing, postponing things, being I'll get there. No, there's no moment like the present moment, so why not go? So I think I'm going to go this year. I have planned to sign up, although I'm kind of rethinking it because I'm thinking, well, if I'm trying to read less and do other things, maybe I shouldn't go. But I think I am going to sign up and go. So if you're a fan of that podcast and you're planning to go there, then that's really cool. Maybe we'll meet. I think that would be a lot of fun to go and attend and meet other people who are interested in reading, travel a little bit, go somewhere new, and of course meet the hosts of the podcast, Anne and Michael, who are really passionate about books. So it would be really great to meet them. So those are my resolutions and my reading goals for 2015. It's just where I feel like I'm naturally being led as a reader, and I feel like putting in a little bit of extra time to be more discerning and to think things through, plan a little bit, will lead to a much richer reading experience in 2015. And if you've made a video about your goals, I love watching videos like that, so feel free to link it below or just leave a comment. And if you have any suggestions for ways to be more discerning and to focus on your reading experience and reading better books, just leave them below. I would love to know your tips or whatever tricks you've used in the past. And if you have any recommendations for science fiction books, I do have a list going, but I'm definitely open to ones. I love discovering books and authors that I've never heard of or that aren't very popular or that have been forgotten about because they were published years and years ago. So I would love to get some recommendations and add those to my list. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.